I guess that auction purchase might have been too good to be true. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Foreclosure Farm. I don't know if we'll ever come up with a genuine name for it. I kind of like Foreclosure Farm because that's what it was when we started with. It's been a few days though. Finally got the planter all switched over to corn. It did rain pretty heavy for the last few days. That's why it took me so long to be able to get back out here. But yeah, it's time to go put the rest of our seeds in the ground, or at least plant the rest of our fields. And yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So the three fields directly around my house are gonna be corn this season. They were soybeans last season, so they will be corn. So it'll be this one, the one to our left over there, and the one behind the house are all gonna be corn this year. And this trusty Case is doing us a solid service, being the best tractor by far. A great purchase. I'm so glad I spent the money on it. It was practically a steal, but you know, definitely won't be complaining about it because it is putting in the work and making our life so much easier. It's, four-wheel drive tractor, solid horsepower, can handle any of the equipment we already have without any hesitation. So I will get to planting, and I will see you guys at the end of this field because it is a pretty big one. It might take me a good chunk of the day. Well, I guess that auction purchase might have been too good to be true. Either that or this field is cursed because this is the same field that I ran out of fuel on with the harvester in the fall. But I think the transmission just let go on this tractor. It starts, it stops, and the PTO still works. As you can see, the planter is going, but it won't go forward or backwards. Kind of clunks every time it tries to get into gear, but it won't move. So guess I'm gonna have to go and call a tow truck. Really, really not happy with that. But I guess it is what it is. I got this tractor for dirt cheap, and maybe I got it for a little too cheap. So I'm gonna walk back to the house and call a tow truck, and yeah, I'll see what kind of footage I can get of that recovery for you guys. Hopefully they don't mind sending a truck out into the middle of the field here. I don't have anything I can pull this with, and I don't have anybody around to steer this or brake while I pull it. So definitely the best bet is to call a tow truck and just say goodbye to that money. Alright, been a couple hours, but the tow truck is here. He found his way to the field, and we're going to see if we can get this tractor loaded up here, and hopefully he doesn't get stuck. I don't know why they sent a small tow truck. I figured they would have sent a bigger one, but we think it'll fit on the deck, so it's just to get it over to my shed here because I think I mentioned a few videos ago that the dealership here, they'll sell me parts for anything, but they won't work on anything other than John Deere, which in this case really sucks. Wish I scored one of the John Deere tractors at the auction, but you know what? I guess we'll just bring it into our shed, drop it inside, and take a look and see what we can do ourselves with it. she's on. And now it's the joy of trying to get this thing out of the field. And we're leaving the planter here. Obviously, we're gonna have to come back. Probably gonna have to put it on the John Deere to finish our planting. Definitely gonna be a big setback. I don't know what the issue is. Hopefully it's small and we don't need an entirely new transmission. If we do, that's gonna be quite costly, but based on our money, and we won't have any real income until next harvest, I think this tractor might be down and out for the rest of the year. At least until the middle of fall, early winter, which after harvest we don't really have much to do around here until we get animals. So yeah, we'll see about it, I guess. Okay, so we got it out of the field, didn't get stuck, thank God. We're looking at it here though, and I don't think it's gonna fit in the shed, so we're gonna have to try and get this guy to lower it as much as he can, and then see if he can kind of push it back into the shed with the truck. Otherwise I'll have to find a way to push it in by hand without, not by hand obviously, but maybe take the Ford over there with the forks on it, figure out if we can get a way to push it without doing more damage. But yeah, let's see what this guy can do first, and we're gonna just try to get it into the corner here, maybe into the back corner here if we can, just so we have room to park stuff around it, because we really do only have the two sheds. That one there is a hay shed, which we can use if necessary, but we're not going to get much equipment in there, so let's see what we can do. Well, there we go. She's off and in the shed, out of the way. Huge props to this guy. Big, massive thank you to RMC Trucking and Towing for coming out to the rescue. Big setback on the farm here, but these guys, you know, despite taking as much money as they're going to be taking from me here in a minute, huge help, huge rescue. Would have been a much bigger pickle than it is if it weren't for these guys. They're great. So if you're in the area of Ray County, Missouri, and you need a tow, go ahead and call RMC. They're a great bunch of people. Well, that was a $750 bill. I wish he would have given me more of a discount, because he did send one of his light duty trucks and surprisingly was able to do it. But I guess they do have a heavy duty minimum tag on their services, so can't complain. They were a huge help. Sets us back a bit further than I would have hoped, but right now we got rain in the forecast. We got to get planting, so let's get in the John Deere here and let's go hook up to that planter and continue this planting season. That was our first field of corn too, so we still got quite a bit of planting to do here. And not too much time to do it, especially if we start getting as much rain in a row as we were getting in the past few days. So hopefully the John Deere will handle the planter as good as that case did. Unfortunately, the three tractors I had for sale, the New Holland, the Case, and the Ford, the older ones, the only one that sold was my other four-wheel drive tractor, the Ford. So we're back to two-wheel adventures here. Two-wheel drive adventures. Rear-wheel drive, same thing. Go ahead and hook this up. Alright, hook up the hydraulic hoses here. And yeah, let's get back at it. Alright, make sure this is going nice and smoothly here. And I think we're golden. So I will get this field finished. It's starting to get dark here. I want to beat out the rain, so I'm not going to focus too much on the video here, but I will see you guys when this field is done. Well, morning everybody. Another beautiful day here in Ray County. Yeah, still kind of wondering what happened yesterday. Yesterday was an adventure. As you guys saw, the case broke down on us. We had to agree with the John Deere to finish up the field. Finished that up late last night with that first field. So today we're going to be getting into the second field. Um, like to be taking a look at this, but I think I should definitely get planting done first. I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into this and then miss my planting window, but yeah. So that's definitely going to set us back. I think I mentioned that the other four-wheel drive tractor we had is the one tractor that we sold, so we'll be we'll be hurting a little bit this year. Also, the fact that I don't have enough to cover my mortgage and everything, so I might have to take out a payday loan to just keep this farm alive for this year until we can get some harvest money and maybe not buy so much equipment next time. Definitely factor in the seeds and stuff, and factor in if it's as cheap as that one was, then it might not be as good of a deal as you'd hope. But let's go ahead. Actually, I don't need to unfold this because we're going to be doing this field just down here. I think we're good on fuel and seeds, so let's just go right ahead and pop on down into this field. I think I've done a time lapse of this field before, but the only field I think I haven't done is that one behind us there, and that is by far our biggest field. So even a time lapse would take too long. I might do a live stream for you guys one day of that field, but for now, let's get going in this one. We still don't have fertilizer in this thing because it takes liquid fertilizer, and we only bought solid fertilizer for our spreader. But it is what it is. Hopefully next year we'll be able to get a pallet of liquid fertilizer to at least fill up the planter with. Maybe even this fall if we get enough money from the harvest, stay afloat and all that, then we'll see if we can grab a pallet real quick when we what's the word I'm looking for? When we plant wheat, as long as I can afford to go back and get a pallet of wheat seeds, winter wheat, so that way we can have straw as bedding for our cows whenever we get around to them. Like I said, despite all these setbacks, I do still want to be able to get cows as soon as possible. So I had some big plans, some ambitious plans. Unfortunately, yesterday alone set us back pretty far. I was doing a little bit of digging online last night, and if it can be fixed, it won't be too bad. But if I need to replace the transmission of that thing, I'm probably looking close to at least $10,000, and that's just for the transmission. That's not for the time, effort, tools, and or labor if I take it to a shop. But if I were to take it to a shop, it would have to be out of town, which would give me a couple $1,000 tow bill. You know, just to get it out of the field and into my shed cost me $750 yesterday. So I don't really want to repeat of that. So if I can manage to drop the transmission on my own and stuff, I might do that. Might have to call up a couple buddies to come help me with it. I think I've said before, I'm not the most mechanically inclined, but I like to learn and I like to try my best. So I'll see what I can manage to do. I'm hoping I don't have to swap the transmission though, because that's gonna be a nightmare either way. If that's the case, I won't even get around to it until winter, once everything's settled down. Because even this year, come summertime, you know, the crops and that'll be growing, there won't be much to do. But I do have that one grass field that I planted. That'll have to be mowed, raked, and baled, and then I'll have to stack the bales up. I might even sell those bales right off the bat, or I might keep them. I'll see how many I get and what the financial situation is for harvest, because like I said, I want to be able to get livestock as soon as possible, but depending where we're at financially, we might not be able to. Aside from that, I don't really know what else to talk about. I mean, that breakdown yesterday is the big talking point by far for today. So right now, I guess let's just let's get on planting. So I realized while I was doing this field that I forgot to run the stone picker over this one. So before we go on and do the next and final field, I'm gonna be taking a real good look at the planter here and make sure I didn't do too much damage to it. Once I got going, I kind of just zoned in. I didn't even notice the stones until it was, halfway through the field, and by that point it's like, well, I'm half done, let's just get it done. So we're gonna find out if that kind of half-ass attitude screwed me over, but we'll see. I'm gonna go fill this John Deere up with fuel first before we do anything, because I will forget to do that, and then I'll run out of fuel in the field again like I did during harvest. But alright, so let's get this thing up. And we will fuel it up. Alright, now we're just gonna back this into the shed here. This shed here is quickly becoming my workshop shed. I'd like to eventually, if I were to be here long term and get enough of steady finances going, I'd like to either replace this one or get another one that would be a proper insulated garage. But for now, this will have to do. So let's go take a quick look at this thing. Definitely see some damage on it, but I think we're still going to be good for a while yet. I think we can get this one last field done in time. And then maybe we'll go ahead and change a lot of these parts over the winter, depending on what kind of money we get in from harvest. Yeah, I think that'll do. Yeah, let's go on and do that. We'll go do the final field here, and then if we've got time, we will go ahead and start fertilizing. I do have to run to the bank today though too, because we're at the end of April now, and mortgage is going to be due soon, and I don't have enough to cover it. So I will catch you guys once all that's taken care of. Well, we have officially wrapped up planting for our first time here in Missouri. Didn't go how we wanted it to go, but at least we got it done. Good old John Deere here to the rescue, putting in the work. Now we just gotta unfold this, clean it up and all that, get our fertilizing done at some point this month, and get this tractor fixed. It won't be fixed for a while. I did do some research last night and checked it out. It's gonna need a whole new transmission, so unless I can find one for dirt cheap, which I don't know if I trust getting something dirt cheap anymore, it's going to cost us over 10 grand. So this tractor will be down and out for the better part of the year. But at least we've got the John Deere, and we've got the Ford out here that we can use. So that should at least get us through this next harvest, and then hopefully this next harvest will give us enough money to get that tractor back up and running before plowing season. But with that failure, I'm definitely going to be taking the summer to look at the harvester that we bought, look it over real good, make sure everything's in tip-top shape with this thing, because we don't have a backup harvester. Well, we kind of do, but I'm kind of hoping that sells, because you can see in the top corner, I've got less than $1,000 left, and that is with a payday loan I had to take out to cover my mortgage this year. So I'm also going to have to see if I can do some contract work over the summer or find something else to sell. The New Holland and Case old tractors haven't sold yet, so, and Rex here needs his food this summer. So that's all for this video. Next I don't know if I'll bother filming fertilizing at all. It's pretty basic. Next video might be when we cut the grass in that other field down there, but I will see you guys in the next video. Say bye bye to Rex.